How do you play Caro-Kann Classical Nd2? Imagine setting up a solid defense that keeps your options open and prepares for a strategic middle game. That's what the Caro-Kann defense offers players who like a calm, reliable approach. When white plays 1e for and black responds with 1. c6, the game begins with a plan to support the move. d5 later on. The main idea is to challenge white's center without rushing into complex trades. Now, when white plays to d4, black usually follows with 2. d5, creating a strong pawn chain in the center. White then plays 3n2, which is called the classical variation. This move is popular because it keeps options flexible and avoids early exchanges that can lead to sharp lines. Instead of the more aggressive 3. nc3, white chooses to reinforce the pawn on e for and prepare for a steady development. Black's most common reply after 3n2 is 3. dxe4, capturing the pawn. White then recaptures with for nxe4, placing the knight centrally and maintaining a solid structure. Black often develops the bishop outside the pawn chain with 4. bf5, which is a key idea in the classical Caro-Kann. Alternatively, black can play 4. n7 to prepare 4. ngf6 or challenge white's knight with 4. nf6. Each move shapes the middle game plans for both sides. White's goal with 3n2 is to keep the position balanced and avoid early tactical complications. The knight on d2 supports the pawn on e for and can later move to f3 or b3, depending on how the game unfolds. White usually develops the bishop to f4 or d3, castles kingside, and looks to control the center with pawns and pieces. Black's typical responses aim to develop pieces smoothly and challenge white's central control. Playing bf5 or n7 helps black prepare for c5, which is a key pawn break to open lines and activate pieces. Black wants to counterattack white's center and create counterplay on the queenside or in the center. In the middle game, both sides seek harmonious development. White often castles quickly and looks to use the open e4 rook activity. Black tries to break through with c5, aiming to undermine white's pawn on d4. The position can shift into a quiet strategic battle or a more tactical fight, depending on how both players handle piece placement and pawn breaks. When it comes to endgames, the classical Caro-Kann, including the Nd2 variation, tends to lead to balanced positions. Both sides usually have good pawn structures, but small advantages in piece activity or king safety can decide the game. White might push h4 and h5 to create kingside chances, but this can also weaken their position if not timed well. A common mistake for white is playing too passively, giving black easy equality. It's important to keep some initiative in the center or on the kingside. For black, neglecting development or missing the chance to challenge white's center with c5 can leave them cramped. This line is a key part of the Caro-Kann's reputation as a dependable, steady defense. It suits players who prefer slow, strategic build-up over sharp tactics. Knowing how to handle the classical Nd2 line helps you respond well to many white setups and prepares you for the strategic demands of the Caro-Kann. In short, playing 3Nd2 in the Caro-Kann is about building a solid, flexible position. Focus on good piece placement, timely pawn breaks, and maintaining balance. With practice, this approach can lead to strong, resilient positions that give you chances to outplay your opponent in the middle game and beyond.